What's up, YouTube? I'm back for a new week. It's FOMC. So let's get into the charts. I like to trade a little more cautious on FOMC weeks. But yeah, Monday, I didn't know it was a international bank holiday. That's what it was. I didn't know that outside the US that people observe Easter on Monday. Other countries. I mean, I guess they use it as a holiday because it wasn't a bank holiday here. So that kind of screwed my trade, but it pretty much, once I realized what was going on, I just held it because I knew where it was going. But anyway, we get into the chart. What I saw, I'll start with the monthly, which high time frame buys. You can tell we're in an uptrend. Looking at what just happened, it'll hit off this area here. Also, looks like it's bouncing off of these. I want to see that. Aiming. As you see, I got this line here is where I think the price will go or is headed to get these semi-equal highs right here. Drop down to the weekly. Weekly confirms my bias even more. You see uptrend even better. See it bouncing off of this area here, hitting this these red candles. As you know, I say red candles should be respected if we're gonna keep going up. They took this liquidity here. You got all this imbalance that it filled it, but if you pay attention to the market, wicks are also treated like gaps. So if you see an area filled, but it wicks like here or like it did here, price is gonna come back and fill it with a full body candle like it did here to balance the price. So I'm aiming for these equal highs here. Go up into here. Daily candle. You see I got this trend going. We've already bounced from here, respected this candle, in the middle area of it. 4 hour. Here's we had this down move, but it's pretty much consolidating. You see it bounced off of these red candles here, and then it went in an uptrend. Respected these candles here. This is my Sunday open and my Monday 12 o'clock open. 1 hour. Go back to Monday, I'm sorry. So another tip I do, if we are in an uptrend, we should be aiming for the previous daily highs to be taken. So I got in the trade around, I didn't trade London. Like I said, I don't particularly like trading London on Mondays. I kind of like to see it, see what it does, give me a better idea of what's going on. So I trade on Monday starting in New York. So yeah, we were supposed to see it go up, but like I said, I didn't know it was a holiday overseas, so you had no volume going on. I was sitting here confused, like, all right, I pretty much know what I'm doing at this point. So even when I'm wrong, it's usually minorly wrong. It's never like some big deal happens like this where it kept dropping. Where did I get in at? I got in at 95. Yeah, so I got in up here when this happened. When it came back up and went to fill this gap. Oh no, I'm sorry. What are you doing? We have to go down with my entry so I can see it better. 15 minutes. 495. Got in at 495. Okay, that's what happened. Here we go. So on the higher time frame, this was an area that I was watching and it bounced from, and that's where the uptrend should have started. As you see, it goes up. 9:30 gets around, I get in at 95. So probably took this 8 o'clock entry, 8:30 entry. So entry times on London, I come to the charts around 1:30 to do my analysis, and then I get in at 2 in the morning, even though like the open isn't till 3, because I found out that like sometimes you can miss moves because they'll start at 2, and if you can just continue when the when it opens at 3 in the morning. So, but also sometimes it will go up and then you get in at 2, it'll come back and it'll usually be like a little gap or little area of support where liquidity is. It'll come back, use that to take to let the 3 o'clock open people get in on entries before it goes. But back to we're at 95. I use this 8, so at 8:30. So it broke this little area here at 8:30. 95. Came up, left this little gap, and I wanted it to come back here and fill this in, but looking at it, this balanced this price right here, so I was assuming that it was not going to go back and fill this area yet. You see, about 9 o'clock it came back, and the same thing is with New York. When I get in at 8:30, this is what I was talking about, where it'll give you an initial run up where you got profit, but then to let the 9:30 open people get in, it will set up liquidity and leave a gap to go back and be filled. Now I explain why all that happened in a minute, but back to I got in at 95, put me up to 07. So I was up and I was expecting this 9 o'clock to do my first move where I said they'll let the 9:30 people get in and just bounce it off of a support, or these red candles should be respected and then continue. But since I didn't know at the time that it was an international bank holiday, I was confused when all this happened. And it kept dropping, and my stop loss was usually under the second one. So I'm at 95. Yeah, so this is my stop loss line. Why I let this deviate? Once I figured out it was a bank holiday, I pretty much took a gamble and bet on them going all the way back and closing in this gap right here to catch traders that were early, that were doing what I was doing, waiting for the breakout to happen because of the uptrend. Whoops. So I held overnight, took a little bit of swap, and yeah, the original move where I was thinking it was going, which was to take Friday's highs, happened, but I was doing something at the time of London. So when I got up maybe like $2 or $3, maybe like close to $2, it kept consolidating here and bouncing and going down and dropping. And because it's FOMC, if it wasn't FOMC, I would just let this ride and call what I wanted. But because it's FOMC and I didn't really get the entry I wanted because I didn't know. I wouldn't have took this trade if I knew it was a bank holiday. I wouldn't have even traded Monday if I knew it was a bank holiday. I just took the profit, the small profit, just to peace of mind. That's all it was. Peace of mind. See if I got a better entry or a better trade. And yeah, then it, while I was doing what I was doing, I looked back at the chart around 4 and saw, yeah, it shot off and went exactly where I had this line, which was the Friday high. Now, I'm quite sure I probably would not have caught the Friday high. Reason why? Because usually, once I get up, so say if I kept my trade, once it got to here, I usually put my stops. If I have a good support, I put the median of the wicks on that support, so it'd been around here. If I don't have any support, I probably would have put my stop right under this, because this red candle should have been respected. And as you see, they'll do this to you sometimes, and sometimes it happens to me and I don't get this full run. They left this gap, 430 comes in and they break this area, but use this as support. Use this red candle. So I probably would have caught around here and been stopped out. Second trade, I traded New York session this morning. So I know I traded Chef. Definitely took the 8 o'clock entry. Go back to monthly. You see we're in a downtrend. Looks like it respects these green candles. That confirms more. It respects this green candle. And when I say respect, is even though it's going past it, it's not closing with a body. It's closing wick on it. Same thing happens here with this candle. These candles respected. Also a swing. This took these swing lows out, which is a swing low is when this middle candle has 2 lower candles to the side of it. If we're going to continue up, swing low should also be left intact. So because it broke it here, I know we're at least continuing down into this area. It might not go all the way back down here. It might get the mean threshold. We'll see what the week does. Daily, we're going up. Expected these candles here. Couldn't break this candle, couldn't break that candle. Nowhere even close. 4 hour, the same deal. All my green candles were being respected. All the gaps were being left open. I see we're in consolidation on the 4 hours. 1 hour, these candles were respected. Even in the consolidation, it respected this little up move here. As you see, it just wicked up. So 15, same deal. It did take these highs, and we'll get into that. So on a 15-minute, I know I got in at 8:30. So my entry was no, I didn't. I'm sorry. I got in at like 8:20 something. So this was my entry. I saw this gap and it rolled up into it. This is the Sunday open and the Monday open, well, 12 o'clock open. As you see, they use this as support and resistance a lot. So I was aiming for it to hit this. but it played around and I got in at 72. Put me up, and up I'm on Monday. Okay, scratch what I just said. This gap in the Monday gap was kind of in this. It's crazy. They were like literally in the same spot. So, scratch what I said. Got in here, same time, same gap. Got in here. Put me up. Not gonna lie, I don't really remember what this level was, but I marked it for a reason. This I was not expecting. I did not expect, even though I was in at 72, so it won't that big a deal. I was expecting it to be stopped by the Monday 12 o'clock close. Open, I'm sorry. And it came all the way up, took these highs. 88 was my stop loss. And the reason I let it go a little bit past it, if we go to the 4 hour, you see how respected these green candles here? And this was right at 86, 89. If it would have closed above that, I would have got out, but because it wicked down, that's why I let it go past my stop loss without closing it. And I caught all of this up into 62. I put my, now normally I would have put my stop loss here or moved my stops here after this was retested, or I moved it above this green one and let it drop, continue to drop. But I'm not gonna lie, I was tired, so I was like half sleeping watching this, and then it filled here. Like I said, if I was fully awake, I would have saw it filling this and bouncing off of this. And they do this a lot as well, where they will, my target objective was the low of the London session. Reason why? Because they already had took the low of the day on Monday, and usually what they'll do, it's rare they'll take both sides. So they took Monday's high and Monday's low. Usually what you can do is pretty much each day to get, if you're betting on it going down, on the daily, each day, the previous day's lows should be taken. So this is why I did not expect them to take the high, because usually when they take one side, they don't usually come and get the other. Now, like I said, of course they do, and of course you have small range days of consolidation because the market's fractal, so whatever it was doing on the higher time frame, as you see the 4 hour, it was bouncing off that, but it was also taking this liquidity on the 5 minute. So I was aiming for these lows here, came back, and I think, I put my stop loss at 62. This candle came up and took me out. And as I was saying, if I was sitting there, I should have been paying attention. I would have saw it take these. And like I said, usually when it's going for an objective and it has like, I call them stops along the way. As you see, it did it here when it filled this gap. Usually when they fill a gap or complete an objective, then they'll retrace a little bit, continue to move. But it's also FOMC, so I just trade FOMC weeks and NFP weeks. I just trade cautious. And as you see, it eventually took my target profit, but it already had taken me out. I'm not gonna complain about not catching the full move, but as you can see, these were the trades for today. My account is now over 80% or up. As far as I started with 100, now it's at 182.99. So till next time, YouTube.